I do not have a home gym, but I do have a living room that I'm slowly turning into a gym. I used to think home workouts were very depressing, but now I think the secret is just building an intentional workout space that feels playful and integrated into your life. So let's talk about how you can make your living space support your physical health. This video is sponsored by Higher Dose. Hey guys, it's Robin and welcome to the Science of Self-Care, where we fall in love with the practice of taking care of ourselves so we can live better longer. In this video, we're going to be covering all the little things I've been doing and collecting to make my home feel more like a gym. I live in a one-bedroom home with my husband and our son, who is still a little baby, so we don't have the space to have an entire home gym, which would be my dream. But especially now with a baby, my husband and I find ourselves wanting to work out more at home because it's not super easy to just pop to the gym when someone always has to be watching our baby. Also, my husband and I are currently doing 75 hard, which requires doing 2 45-minute workouts a day. One of those workouts does have to be outdoors, but the other one, more often than not, is in our home. So I'm going to share some things that we've been doing. I'm going to share some tips and tricks for small spaces because it's so nice when you have a variety of choices with workouts. I feel like variety really is the spice of life to me, and being able to work out at my home has made me fall even more in love with my home. And maybe it's all the endorphins, but this is something I really wish for everyone, that you feel energized by your home space. Oddly enough, having workout options in your home is also a great way to manage blood sugar. By being able to do light movement after eating, your body can shuttle glucose from your blood into your muscles, and this can help regulate our mood and our appetite. So if you're looking for a little inspiration on how you can work out at home, even if you live in a small space, then this video is definitely for you. Let's get started. So before we get into specifics, I do want to share one key thing that makes home workouts so much better and more practical and more approachable, and that is just making sure to have space in your home. And that might sound so obvious, but especially if you live in a smaller space, it's so easy to quickly fill up your space, collect things, and soon enough, you don't have that much space to actually move around, to do yoga, to have dance parties. Less is more when curating a home that doubles as a gym. And so the number one thing before you acquire anything is to just potentially even get rid of stuff. At a minimum, all you really need is enough room to comfortably roll out a yoga mat. And let's quickly talk about the best free resource of all, and I'm not biased, and that is YouTube. There are so many great fitness channels on YouTube, so many great free workouts. So we recently stumbled upon this awesome channel, Get Fit with Rick, which are low-impact stepping workouts that are a little bit dancey. Rick's energy is just infectious, and it's reminded me how amazing YouTube is as a workout home gym resource. I also love to do Pilates with Sonnenflut. I love to do yoga on various channels. I will link some of my favorites down below. There are even just great little HIIT routines that take 7 minutes. YouTube is just so amazing in terms of working out at home. All right, now let's talk about actual equipment. I'm going to organize this by size from smallest to largest. For the tiniest, cheapest equipment category, I want to start with jump ropes and resistance bands. A jump rope is so light and small, easy, portable, and this is great for cardiovascular health, but it's also great for specific muscles like the muscles in your feet and your legs. I recently interviewed a barefoot shoe expert who was talking all about how jump roping is amazing for exercising your foot muscles, which in turn has an impact on all sorts of daily life experiences like how you walk, how you stand, how you move about the world. So having a jump rope does not take up a lot of space and can offer some really nice hardy workouts in your house. Resistance bands are a lot more low impact friendly. What I really like about these bands is that they're so lightweight and they make strength training feel very accessible. So you can keep them in a drawer, pull them out for 10 minutes and train your muscles without needing to have a whole lot of other equipment. Next, we have kettlebells, and I personally love kettlebells more than dumbbells. They're very versatile. I like that you can hold it in one hand, both hands, swing them around. You can start very light and slowly move your way up. There are so many great channels on YouTube with kettlebell specific workouts. Kettlebell swings is kind of like if strength training and cardio had a baby. You get a little bit of both. I'm starting very light. I'm still coming out of my postpartum period. So this one is only 15 pounds. And then once you learn the movement patterns and feel strong and confident using a kettlebell, you can slowly amp up the intensity with heavier and heavier kettlebells. I actually remember reading in one of David Goggins' books that he actually does lower intensity activities for more reps. So he might do a little bit less weight, but then do 100 or 200 reps with that lighter weight. And that's something I've always really enjoyed doing. According to him, that's the reason why he was able to lose a lot of fat, but have his skin stay very taut. I don't know if that's actually true, but ever since reading that, I've really loved doing lighter weights for higher reps. You can still see results, and you're much less likely to adopt poor form because you can actually handle the weight. But we definitely will be getting much heavier kettlebells in the future. Next, we have weighted gear, which is probably my favorite category of all. So this is my weighted belt, my weighted vest, ankle and wrist weights. My husband also has a whole rucking backpack that he uses. And why I love these is that they can amp up the intensity of any workout. If I want to go for a walk on my treadmill desk, I can just wear 1, 2, or 3 of these items and really ramp up the intensity of that walk. Or if we are doing a little Zumba workout in our living room, we can just wear these as well to, again, amp up the intensity and the caloric burn. Or even when I'm just walking around my house and doing chores, I can wear these, and I just love how versatile it is. I love how comfy it is. The very cost-effective way to practice this would just be to fill a backpack with a bunch of rice or water bottles and carry that around, but I like these specific items that are made to be comfortable and hug the body properly. So I have this 8-pound Spy Ruck vest from Go Ruck. It's also reflective, which I love if I go for walks around my neighborhood at night. I have this 8-pound belt, and then I also have these 2-pound ankle wrist weights. So depending on how I combine these things, I can get quite heavy on my body, especially when I add in my 14-pound baby. I like to always start lighter so your body can get used to it, but that also means there's often less friction to us actually doing it. One of my favorite YouTube channels is Physionic. He's done some extensive videos on weighted walking, weighted gear, and he actually featured me in one of them. Very honored. But there's some very interesting research about how wearing weights for extended periods is really great for metabolic health, is great for burning fat, and is also great for bone health. And again, with this, I would start small. Sometimes I'll just wear this little 8-pound weighted vest for hours, actually. You get used to it. It's very comforting. I like the feeling of it on me. This is obviously not a replacement for progressive strength training, but it is a great way to increase the background intensity of your day. And your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which adds to your daily caloric expenditure. A super important but often neglected part of working out is recovery. So I'm so excited to share one of my favorite recovery tools, this red light therapy mat by Higher Dose, the sponsor of today's video. What I love about this mat is just how versatile it is. You can lay on top of it, you can lay under it blanket style, you can hang it on the wall for more of a panel type setup. That flexibility makes all the difference if you are living in a small space. This mat uses 2 of the most well-studied wavelengths in red light therapy. That's 660 nanometers of red light and 850 nanometers of near-infrared light across 1,000 LED bulbs. The research on red light therapy, also called photobiomodulation, suggests that red and near-infrared light can help support cellular energy metabolism, local blood flow, tissue repair. Red light therapy has also been studied for things like pain relief, wound healing, skin rejuvenation, and inflammatory signaling, which is why I think of it as one of those tools that sits at the intersection of beauty, recovery, and general self-care. For me personally, one of the biggest benefits is just how calming this feels. I love to use this blanket style for 20 minutes while I'm reading a good book. This is such a lovely way to wind down in the evening. And red light therapy really is effective, but it's only effective if you use it consistently, which is to me why the setup is just as important as the technical specs. I used to have a panel setup, which was very hard to move around. So it not only took up a lot of space in my house, but I also couldn't move it from room to room easily. So I love that this mat is so much more flexible and it's a lot easier to use in my real life in a whole bunch of different situations. And perhaps best of all, when I'm completely done with it, I just roll it up and tuck it away, which is the ultimate thing that you want to be able to do if you are living in a multifunctional space like I am, where my living room is also my dining room, is also my yoga studio, is also my filming studio, which is where we are now. So if you'd like to try the Higher Dose red light mat yourself, you can scan the QR code on screen, click the link in the description box, or use code SELFCARE at checkout to get 15% off all Higher Dose products. Now let's get back to home gyms for small spaces. Next up, we have an addition to our home that was prompted by my husband, and that is this gym ring setup. This is such a space-efficient way to get a very intense workout. Because there's no stability, the stability has to come from within your core. So gym rings are a very intense full body workout. I can't do a lot on a gym ring yet, but my husband is getting pretty good at doing a bunch of things. And even if I just start with some very simple activities, I love that this is such a playful addition to our home. And I imagine that when my son is a bit older, we can also attach a swing from this thing. We can do all sorts of stuff that can, again, make movement more fun and playful within our home. I love that these can be hidden away or taken out. So again, it's versatile and easy to pack up. First, I was a little bit against it because I didn't want to drill holes in this beautiful ceiling, but our landlord actually loved it and he helped us hang up this bar which doubles as a pull-up bar. Often when we're thinking about using our space, we're thinking about the ground, but I love that this is taking advantage of ceiling space and it's easy to put away. Next, we have little mini steppers or compact cycles, basically smaller versions of machines you might find at the gym. This mini stepper is quite affordable and very small, but it actually gives you a workout if you stick with it, especially if you're using the resistance bands. I like that it's very easy to store and that it doesn't involve any electricity. So again, you're just able to bring it anywhere. It doesn't need to be connected to a wall. Same with compact cycles. This actually is a cycle that was sent to me. Unfortunately, it is way too small. My husband and I are both quite tall. I'm 5'11", he's 6'5". So we're both way too tall for this compact cycle, but this is the type of thing that I like to have in my home. I'm considering getting this instead, which doesn't rely on you being a certain height. You can just put it in front of your chair. These aren't exactly the sexiest, but they are very practical. You can use them while watching a show, listening to a podcast. So I think it's very useful to have these sorts of items around your home. And again, I like to just have options. Next, we have a rebounder. A rebounder is basically a mini trampoline used for exercise, and it gives you a bouncy, playful form of cardio. And I am especially in love with this rebounder because it's foldable, so it's easy to put away in small spaces. But man, rebounding is just such an underrated form of movement. It is, again, very versatile. You can make it very intense by really doing jumping workouts on it, or you can just make it a light, low impact cardio activity by doing a light bounce. I recently watched a video by Rundown with Rachel on, I think she calls it the lazy bounce, which I've been experimenting with and really enjoying. Again, just because you're doing something light doesn't mean that it's not helping your body. Anytime your muscles are engaged and your blood is circulating, your heart rhythm's increasing a little bit, that's going to be great for your body. And I think especially at home, it is just so much better to start fun and light and playful because then you're actually going to do it. It's a lot more inviting. Highly recommend everyone read The Joy of Movement, by the way. This is a great book. This will help you create a new relationship with movement that ties movement and exercise to joy rather than performance. And often this mental switch can be the difference between sticking with an exercise routine and falling off. Highly recommend rebounding if you want something very joyful. Next, I have this very versatile walking pad with wheels. Now, this is a walking pad because it does not go very, very high in terms of speed, and it also doesn't have any sort of incline. This is really the cheapest, most basic walking pad, but I love that it has wheels, so I'm able to move this around my house, but where I use this most is truly at my desk. I've had this now for over 2 years, and I use it, if not every day, multiple times a week. This is how I get my steps in even when I can't leave my house, and with a baby that has been something I've definitely used a lot. It's just such a wonderful way to mix up work. I notice such a difference when I mix it up between sitting, standing, and walking. Variety is once again the spice of life, and this really helps me work longer and better and more productively. And then one last thing I want to mention is my vibration plate, which I have also had for over 2 years. I love it so much. I would not consider this necessarily a workout, but I would consider it part of my quote unquote home gym. It is a wonderful way to recover from a workout. I notice that I'm a lot less sore when I use this. My joints feel good, my body, my muscles. I just feel great when I use this. It's also great for constipation, which is an unintended side effect that I did not realize until after I owned one. But it really gets your bowels going. In a good way, not in a IBS way. I just love this thing. Anytime I feel kind of stuck in my body or just itchy, I need to move, I step on this and I immediately feel calm and connected to my body. All in all, I believe the best home gym is not the one with the most equipment, it's the one that will actually get you moving most often. This is just the beginning of our home gym setup. I really like when your home is a place you can work out, but it doesn't always feel like a place where you work out. So when things are able to be folded up and put away, that's how I like it. But at the same time, things should be accessible and there shouldn't be too much friction to using them. So it is so hot. I've been talking for quite a while. I would love to hear from you guys. Do you have specific types of tools and equipment that you use at your house? Is there a specific fitness YouTube channel that you love to follow? Please share your thoughts, experiences, wisdoms down below. I love learning from you guys in the comments, and I know you guys learn a lot from each other because I see you guys interacting in the comments, and it adds so much to these videos. So thank you for your contributions, and I look forward to seeing you next time.